Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. You know, we're living at a time where we have a great confusion going on. We have people who speak the truth, and we have others that speak the truth, and those truths are as different as night and day. Some of them have been called alternative truths. And many people call those alternative truths straight up lies. What are they? And these are the situations we find ourselves living in today in America. I guess what I'm basically saying is that an awful lot of lies are going on. Lies are the author of deceit, and deception is the thing that messes people up. Not knowing the truth, you can't follow the truth if you don't know what it is. And when everybody usually referring to something back in a time before their time, it's usually something that you heard or something that you read or saw. You just really don't have the experience yourselves. So it puts you in an awkward situation. And I think most people get a chance to experience that. But for me, as a social scientist, they say social scientists might have a little bit of knowledge about research, a little bit of knowledge about social issues that people of the past might have experienced, and some of the same things that people currently experience. You know, could be like that. But when it comes down to things that has to do with life, things that has to do with whether you're satisfied with life or not, then these things seems to be important not just for one, but important to anyone that is concerned about a satisfied life. Now, when I think about me as an individual, I think about others as individuals. And when I think about what's important to me, it kind of helps me to gauge what I understand that might be important to others. Now, for me as a human being, and I'm just speaking to you, ladies and gentlemen, please give me just a little bit of your attention, because I'm only speaking for me now, but I want you to hear what I'm saying. As an individual, my basic concern here in this body, on this earth, during this time, is that I survive. That's number one. That I survive, and number two is hopefully satisfied in that survival. You know, and when I think about that, I think about what is essential for me when it comes down to my surviving. It basically involves, as I have learned, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, infrastructure. These just a few of the things, but these things are made possible by the hands of men. And so I look at these things, and it's important to me for whatever reasons they are. And because they are, when I look at and think about other human beings, I at least attribute to them at least that which I attribute for myself. So if this would help me, I'm sure, as far as I'm concerned, it might be able to help everyone else. And if it does, nothing should keep it away from them, because I don't want anything keeping it from me. And basically what I'm actually saying is that I want to live a satisfied life. I want my needs, wants, and desires met. And because of that, I believe, I might be wrong, that every human being that hears my voice or not are concerned about those same things, that their needs, their wants, and their desires are met. I also believe out of that, people want to live in peace. I mean, I do. Let me go back to me. I want to live in peace and be prosperous. I want to be free. I want to be joy and happy. And I want to live my dreams. And because of that affects me, I want to make that available to everybody, because this works for me. And if it works for me, it might work for you. And if it does, I don't want anything interfering with that working for you. Now, I want to be able to do all of these things, my friends, because I've learned some things that exist in life that I don't want to have anything to do with. And that has to do with lying and cheating and stealing and killing and hatred and racism and bigotry and terror and war. All of that stuff, I don't want to have anything to do with me. I don't want it to affect me anyway. I don't even want to see it. And because I'm so protective of myself from something so evil that would cause me such pain and suffering, I attribute that to you too. I mean, I don't want anything that would interfere with that would cause that to happen to you and rob you of the same kinds of things that I'm seeking for in life? And as I think about all of the stuff that I just mentioned to you just right now, just I guess within a minute or two, and I think about all of the wonderful satisfiedness that I'm seeking, and I ask myself, how can I experience this? Then I look at it and I say, well, all the resources that I mentioned are made available. The resources to provide for the things that I mentioned are made by a power that made the earth. So I think it's part of the plan. It's made here already, part of the plan. So if it's part of the plan to meet me, satisfaction is part of the plan to meet your satisfaction. As far as I'm concerned, it might not be, but if it is, I don't want anything interfering with that, to rob you of any of that. And then I ask myself, it's such a beautiful thing so far. Then I ask myself, what would entitle me to that? If I want this, if I need this, if I desire this, if this would give me a satisfied living life in these bodies on this earth during this time, I'm thinking, what about you? You, as I see you, are as important, are just as deserving as me. So I ask myself, what would make me deserving of all the stuff that I want? And I answer that by saying, work. Participate in the manifestation of the stuff that I just got through mentioning. What? Participate in the creation and the manifestation of the stuff that I just got through mentioning. And since I can hold myself obligated to that, if I hold myself accountable to playing a part in this complete satisfied life, then I think about you. Same thing. I don't want anything that would prevent you from experiencing the same outcome in life that I just experienced. And that which is absolutely necessary, I'm willing to give. I personally extend that to you as well. That it is necessary that you, the people, engage yourself in the process of causing a manifestation of all of those things that are essential to cause you to engage yourself in a satisfied life. So I'm satisfied, you are satisfied. Now, what do I see that would rob me of the things that I just mentioned? A lie, deception, something interjecting some of the other stuff that I said I didn't want anything to do with, lying, cheating, stealing. I don't want anything, but it is something like that coming into my circle that would mess me up. And if it's coming into my circle that would mess me up, as far as I can see it, coming into your circle will mess you up. And if it happens to me, it's going to happen to you. And if it's happening to us, we're going to have a messed up life. So the best way for us to live a satisfied, happy, complete, thrilled life is for us to look after one another, to make sure that those things that are essential, we make sure that they are provided for us, because it must be necessary. The resources are here. We can do it, and we do it, and it's here, so do it. So I don't have to worry about God too much and all this other stuff we talk about, Jesus and stuff like that. I'm not knocking any of that, because that's before my time. All I know really about that is what I've heard. I have had things happen in my life that I consider as miraculous, and I'm sure you have, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just stating to you some facts that I've understood things to be. And so that is enough to guide me on how I am to act in this body, on this earth, during these times, as I deal with you, the people, outside of myself, to cause us to live and experience that life which I myself call living on this earth as though I am in heaven. So when I hear Trump them talking about this, or politicians talking about that, and hatred and looking mean, so smart, and all that kind of stuff, doesn't mean anything to me. I see somebody that's sick, somebody that needs some help, somebody that needs to benefit from that health care that we're talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, it's just that simple to me. I don't know why it's so complicated for you, but we don't experience that in this life. It must be because somehow, some way, all of this other stuff, this sickness, this cancerous stuff, lying, cheating, stealing, killing, hatred, racism, bigotry, all that stuff finds some way to enter into our circle. And we the people got to find some way to get it out. And it doesn't matter if I want it out and you want it in. My job is to get it out. And I guess you do what you want to do, but I can promise you, we as a nation, we as people will never experience it until we come together and work for that as an outcome. We don't work for that as an outcome, we won't have it. Then you ask the question, well, what if some of us work for it and some of us don't? All I can say is this: we know who you are by how you act. Now, if there's a power that is making sure that we get what we deserve. That ain't me. All I do is what I'm supposed to. That ain't you. All you do is what you're supposed to. And we will reap the rewards. We will either have heaven on earth or hell. Amen? Amen.